Here's a good one, guys. This is a 2003 Land Cruiser. This is a 100 series 4.7 liter V8. All right, the problem with this car is every now and then the car will lose all its power. So it will become gutless. You will be driving in drive. Obviously this is automatic, right? And you will barely get any power. And then sometimes you will be good for days, hours, and sometimes just play up like that. So just randomly, right? So what I did figure on my test drive, and thanks to the customer, he kind of gave me a little bit of hint on how can I duplicate this fault, right? So what you have to do, I'll show you what you have to do is you have to drive it, right? So go to about 50-60 kilometers an hour, right? Just driving normal, and then all of a sudden put your foot on the brake, come to a stop, okay? Like that. As soon as you come to a stop like that, the car will start playing up. Now try to rev and go, and then you will have absolutely no power. But right now it is fixed, okay? So it's no longer doing it, but it was doing it every time. I put my foot down on the brake and stop, come to a stop, and then trying to go, and you lose all the power. And to get the power back, what you have to do is you have to turn the key off, wait maybe 30 seconds, a minute, all the power will come back. This car had 2 new fuel pump, 2 oxygen sensor put in order to fix this problem. First I thought, okay, there's some things going on. I thought maybe the fuel pump, fuel tank, because the fuel is moving as you coming to a stop. The fuel is splashing to one side or whatever. Maybe there's something wrong with the fuel pump housing or something like that. I was thinking I went that route for a little bit, but it didn't make sense, because if that's the case, it would do it for a brief moment and then it should come back to normal again if it got a little bit of air, the result of fuel moving around. But this one, once it happens, it stays like that until you actually turn the key off and on. And you can't just turn the key off and on like immediately. You have to sort of turn it off and leave it for a while, okay? So what I did while it was playing up, when it was losing absolutely all the power, I pull up my scan tool, mass airflow sensor on the top, my 2 oxygen sensors at the bottom here. So this is the best way to check the fuel delivery issue. If there's anything wrong with the fuel system or fuel pump, engine is not getting enough fuel pressure, right? This is the best way, quick way to check it, okay? So all you do is get all the data up like that, put it in drive, first gear, and then you rev the car in first gear, start driving, and just give it a good full throttle, okay? Okay, I'm gonna stop the car now. I'll quickly explain to you what's happening on the scan tool. All right, I'll just freeze that data real quick. So see, the whole time I'm revving, this is my mass airflow sensor reading a lot of air. Follow that graph underneath and see the whole time my oxygen sensor is rich, right? It's almost let's say 800-900 millivolts there, okay? So this tells you that there's nothing wrong with the fuel delivery. Engine is getting enough fuel, okay? So that's a quick test. That's what I did. I'm like, nah, this is not the fuel delivery issue. There's something else going on. And this car, by the way, had 2 fuel pumps because it's a dual tank system. And there's a sub tank here as well. It's got dual fuel system, meaning when the symptom was happening, when the car was playing up, it was doing on both tank. So that also led me to believe that it's not a fuel delivery issue, right? But it felt like a fuel delivery issue. And later I went and did a little bit more, thinking, and then I thought, okay, how about transmission? Okay, if the transmission oil is low on level, right? It's the same thing. When you come to a stop, the oil is gonna move and it's the pickup not gonna pick up the oil, right? So I thought maybe that's the case, right? But there was absolutely no fault code in the scan tool, right? And there's no automatic transmission. It's only engine computer. This may not have a TCM, I'm not sure, but it's not showing up on my scan tool. So I went ahead and checked the oil level. It was low, and I put about 3 liters of oil, and it took about 3 liters of oil. Did the oil level check the way it's supposed to be according to the Toyota procedure, right? And then since then I haven't been able to duplicate that same fault again. So looks like that's a fix. I don't see any oil leak around the gearbox, so I assume that the person who worked on this automatic transmission last didn't fill that gearbox up properly, because it took about 3 liter, which is drain and refill is about 3 liter according to my specification. It was very strange. No fault code, nothing. It almost looks like the computer is putting the car in a limp home mode situation, but there was no fault code, surprisingly. But so I couldn't go by the fault code or erase the fault code to see if it comes out of limp home mode. So very, very strange. But next time, if you guys having the same issue with the Land Cruiser, this one's 100 series, make sure you check your transmission oil. A little bit challenging one, but a little bit of logic and a little bit of practice obviously put together. I fixed this car. Thank you.